In hip-hop, that kind of silence feels heavier than defeat. It's a suspension between memory and pride. For Absol, that silence arrived during a live stream watched by hundreds of thousands.
Man, guys, I honestly feel like B-Rabbit, you know what I'm saying? I choked, man. I don't know. I can't call it. First and foremost, the most important thing is I want to definitely congratulate, Gabe, you know what I'm saying, the whole team, AMP, On the Radar, 1 million subscribers. That's incredible. When Jesus Christ entered the chat, you already know, like, I don't know, maybe, it was an emotional thing. Snoop popped in, you know what I'm saying? Carson was in the house, Ray J chimed in.
It happens to the best of us, bro.
Yeah, Shaman Smino was in there, that's always good. Happens to the best of us hits deep, right? That's that hits different. That happens to the best of us, right? That's tough, guys. I've never bombed in such a way. I'm struggling with it. And
is there a first time for everything?
No, and I'm an artist. I'm a performer. I'm a trained, skilled professional. You know what I'm saying?
They said double back with a new one to diss everybody.
No, double back and diss everybody. See what I'm saying? Like that's why I'm glad we do it. That's crazy. Double back and diss everybody. Cause what they saying in the chat? Come on, y'all, like double back and diss everybody. Like that's really what. Because I got invited to such a commemorative event.
Somebody asked, was it written? Is that why?
I mean, it was pre-prepared, it was live. Off the top of the dome freestyles, like, come on, those are great. But I mean, come on, guys, like, but a freestyle is simply that. It's a free verse. You know what I'm saying? It was not an off of the top of the dome freestyle. You know what I'm saying? I prepare as usual. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just think I don't know. I have no tools of incompetence, guys. This is very difficult for me, especially, walking around here calling myself the boat. Yes, Chance, I am the boat. I'll let you have it for a while because of the Black Star line. That's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Light skinned Marcus Garvey looking ass. You know what I'm saying? Great album. But didn't know how to take it. That was very tough for me. So what do? I drive my from wherever we was at. You know what I'm saying? Very far from where I am now. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. And I get back to it. You know what I'm saying? So, not even if you're recording or not. It's just what I want this to serve as is me taking accountability. Those guys gave me an opportunity to perform and, display true skill, true artistry, and I choked. I bombed.
It arrived not on a dim stage or at a half-empty venue, but inside Cenat's third Mafiathon, a digital coliseum where meme culture, fandom, and new school celebrity meet. To understand the weight of Absol's apology, one has to start with how unlikely that setting was for him in the first place. He's a craftsman from the TD lineage, raised in long verses, dense metaphor, and the philosophy that rap is closer to scripture than spectacle. Cenat, by contrast, represents the era of perpetual performance, a world where the crowd never disperses because the feed never stops. Their intersection wasn't just generational, it was existential. One man trained to polish, the other to broadcast. When Absol stepped into that room, digital or not, he brought with him the expectation of poetry. The chat, restless and electric, waited for revelation. Instead, they got humanity. The words tangled, the timing bent, and in a heartbeat the internet witnessed something hip-hop rarely allows its lyricists: vulnerability in failure. The artist who once claimed divinity in metaphor met the algorithmic hum of real-time disappointment. What followed later that night was something rarer still. Ab-Soul didn't hide behind silence, nor did he lash out at the crowd for misunderstanding. He took to his own space online and delivered what, in tone and structure, felt less like a statement and more like a confession. He framed the event as a collapse, one he could not explain away through nerves or distraction. He described himself as both seasoned and shaken. He extended congratulations to the hosts, offered respect to his peers, and then turned the camera on his own shortcomings. In a culture built on bravado, that kind of public self-reckoning hits like a dissonant chord. The power of the moment wasn't in its drama, but in its ordinariness. Artists stumble all the time. Most just choose to vanish for a while, return with new material, and pretend the stumble never happened. Ab-Soul refused that script. His admission of failure carried a reverence for process, the way jazz musicians speak of missed notes as lessons in improvisation. He wasn't defending himself so much as recording data from a fall. In his language, you could sense the training of someone who sees rap as spiritual exercise, not marketing. What makes the story larger than one bad freestyle is the collision of eras it represents. Live stream culture does not forgive pauses. It feeds on pace, spectacle, and memeable moments. Ab-Soul's artistry, however, is slow by design. His catalog moves like literature, dense, coded, requiring re-listen after re-listen. The Mafiathon audience isn't built for patience, it's built for clips. When he faltered, the room did what digital rooms do. It laughed, clipped, replayed. And yet, instead of disappearing into bitterness, he chose transparency. That decision reframed the failure itself. By posting his reflection, he transformed what could have been a viral embarrassment into a meditation on craft. He used the same digital stage that mocked him to teach something older than the internet, humility as a creative act. Every performer eventually faces a crowd that doesn't see the version of them they intend to project. Some hide behind perfection, others, like Ab-Soul, lean into the bruise. In doing so, he reminded the culture that hip-hop is built not just on triumphs, but on recoveries. The confession resonated because it disrupted a myth. Rap, more than any other genre, is obsessed with control. The beat, the flow, the image, the narrative. To choke publicly is to lose control. But Ab-Soul reframed that loss as participation in something communal. By admitting the choke, he acknowledged the anxiety every performer carries into a mic check. He removed the armor, and the gesture became contagious. Within hours, fans and peers began echoing variations of his message, that every artist, regardless of pedigree, meets that blank moment eventually. In a subtler way, his post also reasserted lineage. When he referenced the giants around him, the elders, the hometown figures, the presence of Snoop or Ray J, it wasn't name-dropping. It was context. He was locating himself in a continuum of black performers who've experienced public missteps and returned stronger. His tone carried the rhythm of someone who grew up on cautionary tales, stars undone by ego, legends humanized by failure. By aligning himself with that lineage, he turned the night into a rite of passage. Accountability in Ab-Soul's world isn't PR, it's theology. You can hear it in how he speaks about professionalism, preparation, and artistry. Even when he explains that he had verses ready, that the performance was rehearsed, he isn't making excuses. He's defining standards. He's reminding the younger audience, those raised on instant virality, that real mastery still involves structure, training, and a sense of sacred duty to craft. When he says he bombed, it isn't self-pity, it's ritual purification. The artist acknowledging imperfection so that the next attempt can be clean. Cenat's environment amplifies the tension between authenticity and entertainment. His streams operate as living theater, unfiltered, humorous, chaotic. Viewers tune in for reaction more than composition. Within that landscape, Ab-Soul's failure and subsequent reflection offered a rare intersection between art and algorithm. It showed what happens when the language of introspection enters a space designed for immediacy. And surprisingly, it worked. His honesty turned mockery into respect. Fans who had laughed earlier found themselves reposting his words with captions of admiration. The feed shifted tone from ridicule to recognition. There's something profound about an artist reclaiming narrative in real time. The internet, by default, write stories for you. Ab-Soul refused to let that happen. His response wasn't defensive, it was declarative, a reminder that self-definition is the last frontier of artistic freedom. He didn't need an interviewer, a press release, or a publicist. He needed only his own voice, trembling slightly but clear. Underneath all of it runs the deeper question of what failure means in modern hip-hop. The genre that once rewarded improvisation now functions under the surveillance of perfection. Freestyles used to be laboratories, now their final exams streamed live. Ab-Soul's stumble reintroduced error as part of art. Watching him process, it felt like watching someone rebuild that lost permission to fail. He turned the live stream into a classroom for resilience. And yet the self-critique was not merely professional, it was existential. His tone carried weight beyond career. You could hear the ache of someone aware of mortality, legacy, and the finite time artists have to say something real before noise swallows meaning. His choice of words, his pauses, his refusal to assign blame, all spoke to a larger philosophy of self-mastery. He wasn't protecting ego, he was protecting growth.